You arrived in the morning at 6 o'clock, so I'm hoping you'll be able to last the interview to the end of the show. Welcome to South Africa. Now, what's your intention here? Who are you hoping to meet? Because we are struggling to meet our own development goals.
Yes, we know that. You know, we look very carefully to the sub-Saharan Africa. As you know, we have very important interests and very close links with the Portuguese-speaking countries in that area. We have a very close link with Angola, with Mozambique. Indeed, we are the first investors in Mozambique. And we know how you are related with Mozambique. I think that if we have interest in sub-Saharan Africa, we must put South Africa in our agenda. That's why it is my second visit here. And I think that we have very good perspectives to make business together. Portugal is a small economy, as you know, small country. But
by African standards, very big.
Yes, but so I think that with South African, we know you are regional influence. And we look to South African in two ways. First, because I think that if we close links with your country, we will be better positioned in Mozambique and Angola, and that's important to us. Second, we look to your country as a platform to the region. We can make business with Botswana, Tanzania, Namibia through South Africa. So I came with Portuguese entrepreneurs, some of the biggest Portuguese entrepreneurs in ITC, in foodstuff, in lots of sectors, in renewable energy. I think that you are very keen about renewable energy.
Sure.
So I think that we can do a lot of things together. You know?
But given the growth that we've been seeing in the two former Portuguese colonies, Mozambique as well as Angola, I think surely the investment benefits and the case for investing in those two countries must outweigh that of investing in South Africa.
Yes, we are looking to South Africa. We have not, till now, we have modest relations with South Africa. But nevertheless, in the first 6 months of this year, we have increased our exports, we have increased our investment here, and it's a matter of fact that Portuguese investors invest more in South Africa rather than South African entrepreneurs in Portugal. But it's normal. It's normal. I think that the first step is important that South African entrepreneurs knows our economy, you know, because we have made in Portugal big changes, very big changes in the modernization of our economy.
Sure.
And I think it's important that you know what we can offer to you.
Yeah.
At the same time, Portuguese investors must know South Africa and must think in investing here, as I told you, as a platform to other countries in the region, or even with South Africa partners to Europe.
Indeed. Now, in the meetings that you had today, what sense did you get of South African business appetite to team up with Portuguese investors and also to welcome Portuguese investors into the continent? Because they are also looking at Africa as their own backyard.
Indeed, you are right. But you know, we have an agreement with Watana, and we are working together. You know, so Watana represents in a certain way our presence here, and through Watana, through this memorandum of understanding, and also with Jeddah, with Gedang, as you know, and the agency, we signed today a memorandum of understanding. So we begin to close links, you know, and this is the beginning. But we think that in the next future we will be much more involved.
Now, of course, Portugal has been in the news lately for all the sorts of wrong reasons with the financial crisis and the unfortunate acronym of PIGS, which I use very sparingly. Do you think Portugal, as a nation, is out of the woods, out of that crisis, and therefore able to look outside?
You know, Portugal and other countries, we have suffered one of the biggest crises in the world in the last 80 years. And this is a big problem to Portugal, not only to Portugal, but to Spain, for instance, which is a big economy, or to Ireland. You see Ireland with 35% of deficit of its budget. You see with 45 billion euros to help the Anglo-Irish Bank. You know? So we have not this kind of problems. We have two problems, and we must solve them. First, I think that the public expenditures are very high. You know, the state spend a lot too much money, you know.
Sure.
And so we must
Like governments
reduce.
will do everywhere.
You must reduce that, because if the state spend too much money, private sector can have not.
Sure,
So
it's crowding out the
there's a
private
problem.
sector.
And second, we have a problem of our external debt. So, but this, I think, we have a lot of measures that has been taken now, a few days ago, and I think that we can begin to solve and to overpass this problem.
Yeah. Now you're here, of course, to promote trade. At the same time, though, we're seeing another problem crop up. We're seeing a very, very strong euro against the dollar, against some of the currencies that you want to try and export to. How big a problem do you think the euro will be?
Yeah. You are right, you know, euro is too strong for our exports. You are absolutely right. But I think that our offer in Portugal, we are quite competitive in labor costs, you know. We have an economy based in this moment in added value to our offer. We have been a huge investment in high and media technology in this moment. We have made a big investment in R&D. You see, our government spent 1.57% of our GDP in R&D. And today...
That must be one of the highest in the world.
One of the highest in the world, it's true, because we have a lack of investments in the past, so we must...
You're making up for
yes,
time.
Yes, of course.
Sure.
So I think that in this moment we are attracting FDI for an investment. To give you an idea, till now, the first 6 months of this year, we have about 20 billion euros of FDI in Portugal. And for instance, Brazil, which is very closely linked with Portugal, in economic terms now, in the first 6 months of this year, put in Portugal almost 2 billion euros in 6 months. So I think we are attracting good investment, because this investment is in high technology. We have Cisco in Portugal, we have Microsoft, Alcatel, we have in Volkswagen with the new model of cars. And I think that, we wanted to make our, how can I say, to win some markets with the quality of our product.
Sure.
We do not make a lot of things, but with what we think what we do must be very good, must be the best in quality. So we have also a very good workforce in Portugal, you know. So I think that in this moment, to give you an idea, in the first, from January to July, our exports increased about 15%. Okay. And out of Europe, we have increased to 17%. And that's important, even to South Africa.
So is there a case for the European Union then to be making noises about the strong euro, and also what we are blatantly seeing as US attempts to devalue their currency by default?
Yeah, because your rand is also...
we are also in trouble, definitely.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah, 685 against the dollar is not good for our exporters.
Very high, you are right.
Yeah.
You know, but this problem, for us is a problem, but for German, for instance, is worse.
Yes, absolutely, the biggest exporter in the world,
of course. And they have labor costs very high.
So Europe, should Europe not be making noise, do you think?
I think so. I think Europe must look carefully to its economy, because it's not only the value of the euro, it's also the way they can coordinate economic policies and budgetary policies together. Otherwise, we have the problem of Greece and problem of Ireland, other problems that we cannot solve in due time after it's very bad to Europe, to the cohesion of Europe, you know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely right.
The euro is too strong.
Indeed.
And we will continue saying so. Let's talk about what else you're doing across the continent. Now, Africa, of course, has been a very long time friend of Portugal, going back to the years when the first Portuguese landed on both sides of the African continent.
Yes.
What other work are you doing as an investment agency in other parts of Africa?
Yes, in other parts. We are also in Guinea. We are in Cape Verde. We are the first investors in Cape Verde. We are in Guinea, and when we look to Cape Verde and Guinea and Timor, for instance, we still have very close links. The president of Timor, Horta, is now in Portugal. It's today in Portugal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and in the beginning of 2011, we will go with our prime minister to Timor and to Australia.
Yeah.
But when you look to Guinea and Cape Verde, we look not only in economic terms, but we look also at public aid to development, you know. They need a lot of things. Portugal, we are not very rich country, but we must have a very big solidarity with this kind of people, you know. And we are first investors in Guinea, first in Cape Verde, and first in Timor, and we have very good, very close relations with this part of the world.
Yeah. Now, from your looking at African countries and the outlook of the governments in those countries, are you getting any sense that governments are becoming more supportive to opening up their markets to foreign investors? I mean, we've had issues with the World Trade Organization, with accusations flying that other countries are protecting their own markets. But are African governments, in your view, opening up to the rest of the world? And is it enough?
I just can tell about my experience. You know. And
absolutely.
about my experience, I think that we have no problems with the government of Mozambique. They need investments, and we need to invest.
And they've gone full circle, hey?
To give an idea, you know, in this moment in Mozambique, we have 3 huge investments. One in pulp, not only in pulp, but in eucalyptus plantation till pulp.
Okay.
One of them is about $1.52 billion. Other in infrastructures, you know, to link Mozambique to its neighbors. You know, very important.
Very difficult, yeah.
Very important. And third, in energy, you know.
Right.
And this also is a very important one. So these three investments are really structural investments to Mozambique economy. This is an example. But in Angola, for instance, also, we have a lot of important investments. But with Angola and Mozambique, I used to say, we do not go to Angola or Mozambique. We stay in Angola and Mozambique.
Right.
We stay there, you know. And when you look to South Africa, we want to stay in the same way. We want to stay here, you know. And we know.
Are they listening, though?
Yes, I think they begin to listen. We have some difficulties here. I cannot avoid that, you know.
Sure.
Some difficulties. But I think that it's so important. South Africa is so important to the region, to Africa, because your GDP is more than much bigger. And Gadang, this province, which is very important in South Africa country. So I think that I think that because you know our investors and our economy, it's very, very well internationalized. You know, I used to say that Portugal has 2 borders. One is Spain, and the other is the world. You know, because you see, because we have 10 million, we are too small. We must go abroad, as we have done in the 15th century.
Absolutely. On that positive note, we have to leave it there. But thanks very much indeed.